Happy Halloween.
Welcome to the Hardheaded podcast. I'm Troy, your host. It's really loud. I'm Troy, your host. Today, and with me, as always, is Mr. Matt Amos and Mr. Chet Sears. Today, we're going to talk about this upcoming election. It's getting kind of crazy out there, folks.
Scary. It's scary.
It's scary. It's Halloween scary.
Very scary.
I mean,
I ain't scared.
It's nuts.
Ain't scared. I saw a Salt Life sticker on a Wichita, Sedgwick County tag car over the weekend.
Salt Life, huh?
Yeah, Salt Life. Living that Salt Life. Ain't scared. That's what reminded me of it when you said ain't scared.
Hey, you gotta live that salt life anywhere.
I don't believe so. You could be a salt hawk. You can't be a salt life.
My daughter is a salt hawk.
There you go.
Or no, a dragon. Oh,
She's a dragon.
All right, well, we're going to roll into...
Hey, you're letting that music play all the way out.
I'm not done with the intro yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're going to roll into a top 3 funniest or most clever Halloween costumes ever.
Yes.
So, here we go. Kick us off, Chet.
We're not doing the top 3 right now.
No, kick us off with some election
so
time.
If you have not caught, did you watch the Joe Rogan Trump podcast?
I have listened to it 2/3 of the way through.
How about you, Matt?
I've watched every minute.
Really?
I have a really hard time following Trump.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't enjoy it.
He repeats himself so much.
He didn't do bad, but he's like just on his own. He's reading his own script. He's playing from his own sheet of music. And whatever your question is, doesn't mean that's what he's going to talk about.
Well, I thought he did pretty well with that. I think he stays on topic. He does sometimes go way around with a tangent.
It started out, tell me what it was like when you walked into the White House.
Oh, well, Joe
and an hour later, he answered that question.
Right, well, that's true, yeah. He got back around to it.
But so Joe had to keep asking.
I don't think that he really understood exactly what Rogan was asking there. I think what Rogan was asking, like the gravity of what you're taking, the briefings that you were getting, like all of the world intel that you're now privy to. I think that's what Joe Rogan wanted to know. And Trump focused on standing in the Lincoln bedroom.
Right.
Being like, this is the...
But it took him 30 minutes to get to the Lincoln bedroom. He first started about the night he won.
Right. It's so beautiful. I mean, look at this Lincoln bedroom. It's so beautiful.
You might notice the bed's a little longer.
But I'm not.
He was tall.
He was tall. I'm not saying it was a bad thing. I'm just saying, of all the guests I listened to on Rogan, I would have tuned out. If this would have been somebody other than President Trump doing the same type of interview, I would have turned it off and gone to listen to something else.
That's fair, because I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's even hard. I listen to everything like 1.75 speed.
Oh,
just so I can
I'm 1.5. You do 1.75.
Usually.
Yeah.
But it was hard to have him that sped up. I had to slow him down a little bit.
So, all in all, I think it was a huge win for his campaign. I think there was nothing that happened in the interview that hurt him.
Right.
Which would have been like, okay, well, maybe you shouldn't have done that. Everything, even if it was a even keel, it doesn't hurt. But I think it showed, I was reading some commentary, I can't remember where, but it's like, you know what? If the people that just listen to mainstream media happen to catch that 3-hour interview, they know they've been lied to about him being a lunatic. Like, because he did not sound like a lunatic. He just sounded like a normal person.
And he doesn't in any interview. It's when they start
cutting up
and editing that it makes him look crazy.
Yeah, and I think didn't he mention it was Theo Von's podcast with Trump and Theo Von, which is what Rogan's like. Yeah, we can do this. Like this is
yeah. Rogan said that.
Yeah.
That's why he decided to have him on.
Right.
Well, actually, he said I wanted to have you on after you got shot. I wanted to have you on the show. Yeah.
But
you got to get shot if you're a president to get on Joe's show.
I think it's funny though that Trump made it clear. That whole part of the conversation started with Trump said, when you called me to be on this podcast. Is that it was being on Theo Vaughn's podcast when you decided to call me to have me come on? And he's like, no, I wanted you on since you got shot.
Yeah.
But I think Trump was also making it clear, like, you called me. Like, now everybody knows.
Right. Yeah, that was good.
But and we talked about this before. His appearing on the Theo Vaughns and the Schultz.
I listened to Theo Vaughn. I thought that interview was great.
Yeah,
he was super normal. He wasn't trying to, because I think when you start asking him what he's going to do and his policies and how he's going to do it, that dude thinks in like 10 different directions at the same time. So it's not like it's just, hey, we're gonna raise, we're gonna do, we're gonna have tariffs and we're gonna do this. No, it's like, well, in order to do that, we have to do this, and in order to do that, we got to do this, and so he has to weave the whole story, the whole picture. I think because of the way that the media has handled him.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to make sure that I get every single thing in here so they have nothing to come at me.
I did like his story about landing Air Force One in the dark. That was pretty cool. He had me dialed in listening to that story.
But I think, did you guys catch the Jake Tapper, JD Vance interview?
No, I haven't.
Dude.
I caught a little bit of it.
That is the single most contentious interview I've ever seen, ever, from mainstream media and anyone. It got
heated.
It got ugly. It got pretty doggone ugly.
Who got ugly first, Vance or the interview?
Oh no, it's Jake Tapper. Was just I don't know. Here, you got your cable?
Oh yeah. Play a little clip for us
I'll
here.
give you a little. I don't even know how long this bite is, but this will give you an idea of. You got the volume on that?
Yep. Oh.
We'll see if it's too loud.
Ask yourself a basic question about network integrity. You guys talked about the Russia hoax nonstop.
The FBI was investigating it. The FBI was investigating it, and we covered them.
And so you took the words of unnamed FBI agents and put them on your network as if they were the gospel truth. You did it again and again. A viewer of your network would have believed that Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin conspired in 2016.
No.
That was totally and preposterously false.
No.
Well, that's
what you just said is
why.
false. We covered an FBI investigation. I don't know why you want to talk about the FBI investigation.
You covered it in a way that gave credence to anonymous sources' accusations. You did it yourself. Your network did it, Jake. But again, can we talk about the issues that Americans care most about?
I'm talking about things that Donald Trump has said.
Yes.
If you have an issue with whether or not he's talking about the economy enough, that's between you and your running mate. I'm talking about things he has said this week.
Every single rally that he does, he talks about how he wants to unleash American energy so we can lower the cost of groceries. He talks about the fact that housing has become unaffordable. He talks about the wide open border, Jake. Kamala Harris and her allies, it's interesting. Kamala Harris and her media allies, and I would put CNN in this category. You guys seem to care.
I'll tell you that. They wouldn't.
Well, they should watch your network more, because you guys seem to care more about Donald Trump's past than the future of the American people.
That is cold-hearted right there.
On making the American dream.
I'm specifically
affordable.
asking about how Donald Trump is going to be president in the future should he win, and then we're being told
he's going to pursue economic policies that lower the cost of groceries.
I'm telling you, man. You guys are living in the past. The people want to know about the future,
right?
But you could just hear him interrupting him, like, oh, it's like an argument, not an interview.
Yeah.
But JD he just went after him. Like he was like, I'm not having any of this. And Jake Tapper just he just started fighting and getting upset about it. But
I've heard a couple of Vance interviews, and he handles himself well, and he can get in the ring.
Well, he goes back to back to back. But he's the one that's going into these contentious interviews. Right. And he's doing like 3 or 4 of them a day. He's on CNN all the time. Like he's not afraid to go, and I don't think it'd be productive for Trump to do any of that.
No.
And all Harris is doing, and Walls played Madden with AOC, and they had a live chat. They're reaching the people that way.
Like Madden, like
Yeah, she was on Twitch playing Madden with Tim Walz, and they were talking politics while they're playing.
Oh my gosh.
So that's what I saw. I thought it was kind of just I didn't know they were playing anything.
Yeah.
To appeal to young men, it says.
Walz is an idiot. I listened.
He's a goober.
I listened to that. I was like, "Whoa, that dude is a tool bag."
Yeah, he came across very well in the vice presidential debate.
100%. I thought.
But you get him out of that unprepared stuff, he's a kook.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about? Was it Rogan or I can't remember if it was Rogan or whoever Rogan was interviewing, talking about Walz, about how he's gay, and it was on Tucker Carlson.
Yeah,
he was talking about Tucker Carlson thinks he's gay across the board, but he was like, nobody will ask him if he's gay. But why don't you ask him if he's gay? But you get hammered on if you ask that question.
But he's married.
I know.
There's a lot of influential people that are married, but they're.
I sent you that, guys. I sent you that meme.
They're marriages of appearance.
You know what that is. You know that guy.
No, who is that guy?
So that's the guy from Africa. He's on an African news channel, like South Africa. And he had somebody on there that was a trans person.
Why are you gay?
He's like, and they started the interview. He's like, why are you?
That was his first. They sat down. That was the first question.
That was the first question. And she was like, what makes you think I'm gay? He's like, you are gay.
You are gay.
So that's what that meme is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. There's room. And again, there is no reason for anybody to go that route, in my opinion, with anything having to do with this election, because there's policies that are.
I just thought just the conversation between Tucker and whoever he was talking to was just, he got so fired up about it. It was laughable.
Yeah,
his conversation. But.
So and it's the tour now, like the rallies. It's Trump, Gabbard, Carson, Kennedy Jr.,
Elon.
Yeah, Elon's out there.
I mean, my gosh. And did you hear about the Houston thing with Beyonce?
She didn't show up?
No, she did.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. So they announced. Now, there's some debate about this too, and I haven't dug in to find out what's actually true. They got permission a month or two ago to use some Beyonce music in the Harris campaign rallies. And ever since then, the media has been acting as if at some point Beyonce is going to go do a rally. And if she were, they would assume she would be supporting Kamala by having the concert. Like, we'll go out and sing a few songs at the rally. So in Houston, they announced Beyonce is going to be at the rally. She's coming to the rally. So the media immediately started saying Beyonce's performing at the rally. So they got the big stadium and they packed it out. And Beyonce came out with Kelly Rowland, one of the Destiny's Child singers. And they gave, together, combined, a 4-minute speech on why they support Harris and left. No singing, no concert, no. And as soon as, and I don't know at what point in the rally this happened, but when Harris came out, you know that's the last thing in the rally is the candidate.
Right.
They're going to close the rally out. When the crowd realized that Beyonce was not performing, they walked out during Harris's speech. Like some of the articles are like 50% of the people were mad and just walked out. We're not even, what the heck? Like, you lied to us. And I don't know if Harris or the campaign actually lied, but the media definitely said Beyonce's performing in Houston.
Yeah, the New York Post says Kamala Harris mocked after Beyonce fails to perform at her Texas rally.
Yeah.
Quotes, baited people with a free concert.
So, anyway.
Dude, that's the thing, like Trump was talking about when he ran against Hillary, and when they were talking about the polls.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, how are the polls so close together, 49-51, when I got 20,000 people coming to my rallies and she's got 500.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't go to rallies. I'm never going to go to a rally.
Well, I'm not either.
Yeah. So, I mean, I
knows
think there may be more people like with our feelings of rallies on that side of the aisle, or in general, and not just Trump's a celebrity. Like,
right. Yeah.
That was the other thing that came up in the Rogan interview is, I don't even know if they talked about it, but somebody mentioned if anybody would have told me back in 2004 that the host of Fear Factor would be interviewing the host of The Apprentice and it be the largest media event of 2024,
Yeah.
I would have told them they were crazy, you know?
Yeah.
But two TV show hosts in there. And Kennedy's killing it. Did you hear his accusations on, pretty insightful too, on Bill Gates? I have a minute long clip here.
Bill Gates is sick, dude.
Well, here he says something here, and you guys mind the voice here,
because
it's hard to listen to him or hear him because of his speech deal. But listen to this.
I mean, one of the telling things that happened this week is that Bill Gates made his first political contribution in history. He gave $50 million to Kamala Harris. Now, do you think he did that because out of a patriotic impulse? And do you think he did that out of a humanitarian impulse? Oh, he did that to protect his wealth and his system, which he calls philanthrocapitalism, which is a way of making yourself rich by pretending to give money away to good causes. And he wants to keep that. He just got indicted in the Netherlands and is going to trial. Yeah. And I published an Instagram post or an X post that said, "You're welcome, Kamala." Because I'm quite sure that the reason that he gave that is he does not want me running the health system in this country and looking into his business practices.
So you got Gates in the crosshairs.
Yeah.
And I'm going to also start referring to any post that I make on any social media as I published. I published a piece on X that talked about how silly Matt was.
Do you have a business account on any of these platforms?
A business account?
Yeah.
No, I don't have a business.
So I do, and he does because his personality is his business. So if you want to buy ads or whatever, so you got the business suite, it says publish now. And so that's why he's saying publish.
Oh.
Would you like to publish this now? Would you like to put?
I just think Troy sounds a lot better than. I
think he's trying to step on my
I posted something. I'm going to step on your neck if you're not careful.
Good luck with that broken knee.
Yeah, you just shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. So anyway.
By the way, for the listeners out there, Chet hurt his little knee, and he's been a little weenie.
You can't hold me back. You can't keep me down.
I bet I can now.
I'm serious. I don't want to even talk about it because my hunting season is in jeopardy. I have plans outside of hunting this fall that are in jeopardy now.
If I just Spartan kick the front of it.
Huh?
Just beep, beep.
I'd like to see you Spartan kick anything.
That's all I can do is
It'd be worth it.
That's all I can do.
It'd be worth it.
Anyway, continue.
What? You're getting me on tilt right now. We were walking in the building together, and I was like, Matt, you have to slow down, man. You're walking too fast.
Hey,
that's what you do to me all the time.
Everybody just leaves me in the dust like, oh, there's Matt. He's walking too slow. He's got one speed.
Yeah. Yep. Well, my one speed right now is apparently slower than
my one
one speed. So it's also Halloween, and parents, you got to check your kids' candy. There may be
an AK-47
in there.
Could be.
I need to go trick-or-treating if that's the case.
What was it, an Almond Joy?
Almond Joy had an AK-47.
AK-47 hanging out of it.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've already seen some concerned parent in the Facebook neighborhood feed warning you about candy.
Not yet.
But they're coming. If you haven't seen it yet, they're coming. You don't have a neighborhood Facebook feed, do you?
And I follow Andale.
Oh, I'm talking like our neighborhood.
Right. Well, I get it. Your little, your community.
It's hilarious. I bet I get the same post that you are you on one, Troy?
No.
Were you ever on one?
I was on y'all's.
Oh, well, never mind, because it won't work because we were in the same neighborhood.
Yep.
They're all the same, though. My package says it's delivered, but it's not at my house. Can somebody tell me if they had it delivered to their house? Like, that's every other week. Somebody posting some silly stuff like that. So you guys, what's your tradition for Halloween?
I don't have one.
Would your kids go anywhere?
They might. I really don't know.
Okay. That's cool. When I grew up way out in the country, trick-or-treating was done by vehicle because you had to drive to every house. You couldn't walk from house to house.
Well, I mean, growing up, that's what we used to do, actually.
Yeah.
And then because we'd hit all the people from the church, we'd use the church directory.
Oh, yeah?
The old church directory.
Yeah.
And then we would go and we'd hit all the people, and I always had those ones that, were the extended grandmas and grandpas that just had, really good cookies and all that kind of stuff that they give you. And yeah. So, I mean,
homemade goods. Does anybody give those away anymore?
I don't even know. I don't know. I haven't seen many of them.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I'd eat most of them, but.
We're giving away Pokemon cards this year.
Instead of
candy.
Oh, ones that you've opened that aren't any good?
No, you can buy a big box of them.
Yeah.
They're called Trick or Trades packs, and they're packs of 3 cards in each pack.
Yeah.
So they do it every Halloween.
What if there's like a big fancy card in there?
They're not.
Oh, okay.
They make them specifically for Halloween.
Okay.
And there's a set. They throw in random common cards in there.
Yeah.
But then they have a set of like 8 of some of their, better priced cards, but they put a little Halloween stamp on them.
Yeah.
So it's like a Pikachu pumpkin thing.
Oh, okay.
And yeah.
All
so
right.
we're giving those out.
I like that. Alternative giveaways.
Yeah.
Like we were at the point last year that I think we even talked about it. Like, hey, let's just turn the porch light on and leave a bowl of candy out front and say, take one, please. And just so we don't have to deal with the dog barks and all that kind of stuff. And then Sabrina, she's, I'm too old for that trick-or-treating business. So I'll invite some friends over and we'll hand out candy. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I hope that's what she's doing.
Yeah. We do a chili cook-off. So
in your neighborhood?
Yeah. So our old neighbors, when we lived in your neighborhood, the Peters across the street, they always did that. They had a chili cook-off, and we always competed in that one.
Yeah.
And the kids would run around the neighborhood and get candy. So when we moved, we kind of brought that to our neighborhood. So we do a chili cook-off. A couple of neighbors come over.
So cook-off means it's a competition.
Yeah. So neighbors come over and bring chili.
Does anybody bring white chili?
They have.
I'm done. White chili's no longer chili.
I'm not a fan. It's usually white chicken chili too. It's like it's not chili.
No,
it's white chicken soup.
That's chicken soup or tortilla soup. Or, yeah,
white tortilla.
I had somebody blow my mind.
I don't know that I've ever had any white chili.
Oh, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing.
It's not. And sometimes it has corn in it.
I'd try it. You know what I mean? But I don't.
I wouldn't call it chili.
But that's the thing. I don't know if I would either. Yeah.
And so we had taco soup the other night, and we mentioned that with some friends of ours. Like taco soup, and they're like, "What's different? Is it just chili with taco seasoning?"
Oh my god!
And I was like, "It's taco soup. It's a soup." And they're like, "Well, how is it a soup and not a chili?" And then I was like,
"There's no such thing as a chili. Like chili is chili."
I think the debate is there chili with beans or chili without beans?
That's a huge debate.
But that's the only debate. There's not like
it comes with beans.
Is chili a soup? It's not a debate.
Yeah, it should have beans in it.
Debate settled. I mean,
yeah.
The chili I cook has beans in it.
Mine does too. Yeah.
I think it's only if
but
you're from
I'll tell
Texas
you,
that it doesn't.
I will tell you this though: if I'm getting a chili dog, the chili on my dog, I don't want beans in it.
I could have it either way.
I could go either way.
I could. Well, I'd rather no beans in my chili on top of something, no beans.
So I had
if it's just chili.
Frito chili dog the other day. It didn't have beans in it.
Yeah.
It was just but he was specifically making it for the dog, so he didn't put beans in it. But it was really good. the Dirty Dogs food truck.
The
Chili.
food trucks. I haven't eaten at what's the oven? Flying Stove. That's a good food truck.
That is a good food truck. They got a lot of fusion type meals there.
Yeah.
So I did go to the chili cook-off Wagon Masters this summer, and the chili that I love the most, because you get to vote on them, had ranch packet. Like in the dry ranch packet in the
recipe. That's a common.
I'd never had that before.
Yeah,
and so when I gave her all 3 of my beads, and after the 3rd bead, she finally told me what the secret ingredient was, and it was that, among other things. But
so when you serve your chili or eat your, let's just say you're in charge of chili, and people are coming over, what do you have that you add to it after you put it in your bowl? Or before you put it in your bowl? Like Fritos?
Oh, we have.
So we just for guests? Because I typically...
I look at it for guests as I'm going to go that extra level where sometimes I want it, but I'm not going to go to the trouble.
So you got to have the Fritos.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have oyster crackers. One or the other.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The bite size.
I prefer Fritos, but yes.
Yeah.
Some people may not. Troy. Yeah.
Well, you come to my house, you're getting Fritos. That's it.
Cheese. And either way, I actually prefer sliced cheese, not shredded.
Okay.
Because then you can just
cut into it.
Oh, I stick them all around the bowl like a little deal, and then you just cut you take the bottom off and it's already melted, and then you get
kind of like a French onion soup.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And then
I'm thinking that may not be a bad idea.
Onions,
chopped red onions,
white.
I do white.
It's I don't know about taste. I don't think you can really taste too much difference, but it's just more appealing to the eye with white.
I like the sweet of the red.
Maybe some green onions chopped up, little color.
Yeah.
You do a dollop of sour cream?
I put sour cream out, but I don't know who the heck puts sour cream in, in the chili. I can't.
I do it.
I can't do it.
Here.
Yeah, I'm a big dollop of sour cream on that.
To me, that's the people that can't handle the heat. They need something to mellow it out.
No.
Whatever, dude. I can take heat, and I love a dollop.
And, maybe, but the people that come over to my house are like, oh, man, you got any sour cream? Knock the heat down. And, I don't know about you, Troy. I mean, you'll have to try some of this sausage, and we'll see what your reaction is.
Oh.
He lost all credibility.
No, I didn't.
I mean, if y'all ever bring me some, I'll eat it.
You need an oven up here is what you need.
So
got
Stone,
one downstairs.
I sent some sausage back up with Stone, smoke rings, whatever you want to call it.
Smoke rings, yes.
And he said, I said, did it have a spicy kick? And his response, and Stone, he and I both are like, mango habanero. We're on the upper 5 tier of a Buffalo Wild Wings when we go. So we're not
respect.
We're not scared of spice. But he said, yeah, it's really good. The sausage spice combined with the jambalaya was a lot, especially after I burned my tongue on gumbo the day before. So anyway, he's recognizing that that's spicy. It's spicy.
I was in deer camp, and I cooked some of this up for...
We didn't have the same batch.
A cup. It's the same thing, Chet.
No, your spice, the spices you pulled out from my mix was different than the spices you put in your mix.
Definitely not.
It was older. It was in a sack that was like twisted up with a twist tie, and yours came in like a vacuum sealed thing.
No, it didn't.
Or vice versa.
Nope.
All right, we've already had this argument.
Jeez. Anyway, where were we?
We didn't have this argument, but yeah. So anyway, what do you set out for your chili? So that's what I set out. We ended it with sour cream there, and then that's where we got off track.
So sour cream, cheese. I like the onion. Fritos. Have you ever done the chili cheese Fritos?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either, but I've heard that's a thing that you should try.
I'm going to pass on that. I think that would just add. It would conflict with some of the flavors I have in my chili. Now the scoops, I don't mind the scoops for chili, even though they cut up your tongue or the roof of your mouth when you eat the scoops. But
well, if you put them in the bottom and let them get a little soggy.
Oh no, you don't do that with scoops, man.
Do you do that? Do your oyster crackers on? Do you not put a base down before you put your chili on it?
Me personally,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, you're missing out.
I mean, now I like a Frito chili pie, but for the most part, I just love.
You throw it in the bottom of the bowl and you let that juice get soaked up.
No,
Fritos.
And your chili, does your spoon stand up?
I get Fritos. I get it. Oyster crackers do not go on the bottom because oyster crackers suck soggy.
I'm with you, but that's why you don't do oyster crackers and chili.
But that's why they call them scoops.
Okay,
because you scoop the chili.
I'll tell you, one of my deer camp, one of my deer camp snacks is a refried beans. I'm going to splurge, I'm going to get the Frito bean dip. You know what I'm talking about? The bean dip.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Bean dip.
Yeah.
With some Frito scoops.
I used to get that was my college snack.
Yeah, I do that at deer camp.
You guys must be living the life of luxury.
What I was doing was
paying $4 or $5 for that.
No. You get a can of refried beans and then you throw some Taco Bell mild sauce up in there.
No, you don't.
Mix it up.
No, you don't.
25 years ago, it wasn't that expensive.
Oh, it sure was. It was.
No, it wasn't.
Today it costs the same amount as a bag of chips, and it's just that little tin can.
Yeah, it's way overdone. So I get the San or Rosita's.
Yeah.
Refried beans, and then all you do is add jalapeno juice, and then you stir it up, and that's all the Frito-Lay's.
I'd throw some.
That's all that is.
I'd throw some Taco Bell mild sauce in there too. You need to give that a shot because they give that away for free. They give you like a gallon of it. You just have to open up 10,000
But that
bags.
means you have to go to Taco Bell.
Well, when I was in college, that was a frequent.
Oh yeah,
back in the day it was.
Stop.
It used to be really good back in the day, and then something happened, and now it's gross.
Yeah.
No,
it'll clean you out.
Although I am kind of Crunchwrap Supreme. I'm kind of feeling that for dinner tonight, but
my wife is cooking chili tonight. I'm going to go home to a bowl of chili.
We'll all be over.
Come on.
We'll all be over to eat some chili.
I may not have sour cream.
I will. Not,
I don't need sour cream.
I will not be there. It's on your way home though. You could.
Yeah, I almost got dropped off from the hospital to here.
Oh, here we go.
With depending upon you driving me home.
Oh, it depends.
And then I was like, man, I'm not going to depend on Matt to drive me home. I just don't know. I'll just hear about it. That's tonight. A good song.
I'm super dependable.
You are.
All right, let's go. Let's move on. Enough about chili. Let's move on to our funniest or most clever Halloween costumes.
All right.
Chet, why don't you hit us first?
Oh, let me find my notes here. I did, when something's this broad, I feel like I need to narrow it down a little bit for me to make it. So I did couples. Okay. So if they're couples, number 3, Colonel Sanders and a chicken. You know, they got all these chicken costumes out there, the inflatable or whatever, and then somebody dressed up with white hair, white mustache, glasses, and a red apron.
The Colonel.
Yeah.
I like it.
Number 2, and this one works if you have a baby. So you young families out there, you get you can get one of those clear, big industrial size trash bags. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. And you put it on, cut your little leg holes in there, and then you draw the ice symbol like you're getting frozen bags of ice, and you have ice, and then baby. Clever. I like that one. It's pretty easy. And then number 1, if you dress up as Wayne and Garth from Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Because you basically have all the clothes already, and all you need is a couple wigs and glasses, and you're all set.
And an Aerosmith t-shirt or whatever.
Yeah, and then because then that brings in all of your words that you would use all night, swing and we're not worthy. You could do it, brings the whole movie up, and that's all you should say all night at your Halloween party is Wayne's World references.
That's good. I like it. Matt, what do you got?
was trying to find, I had a picture to show you guys actually. All right, there's one. Okay. Number 3, I was scrolling through, and of course right now you got all the people posting their costumes. And one that I saw was this dad who did his daughter's costume. And he built basically a head, or I'm sorry, like a torso and shoulders on her shoulders. And then it all blended in so that it looked like these shoulders had arms that came down and held her head like this. But there was a shoulder and torso.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
So it looked like a headless person carrying a head.
Yeah, so she had a plate right here, and it was her head was on a platter, and she was walking around. I was like, that's really easy.
I've seen
Yeah.
Like, that's super easy, but super creative.
I know what you're talking about.
And then number 2, any, I guess to go along with your couple's costume, but my wife and I, 1 year dressed up as Myrna and William Wallace. So I was Braveheart. And, and we, to this day, I think she still has the costume in her closet because she made them both.
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah.
you know, so it was really cool.
Blue face paint. Did you do the blue face paint?
Yep. And the wig with the,
Where's some pictures of this?
They're on Facebook.
Okay.
And then number 1 was one somebody just sent me last couple of days. And it's a dog that's got a bloody leg. So he's taking this dude's prosthetic leg.
That's awesome.
And then they've covered the dog in blood, like fake blood. I mean, it looks.
Dude, it looks like a turkey leg that's shoved into the prosthetics leg. I love that.
That's awesome.
That's sick.
Yeah.
It looks too realistic.
Now, if I could get my dog to carry that around all night, I would do it.
Well, if you like in the pylon, if you cram the turkey leg down in there and then put the shoe in,
and then
your dog
the
just sits there and is like
on it.
gnawing on the turkey leg.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Dude, I love that.
That's hilarious.
That's very creative.
All right, mine. 1 year we actually wore it. I was a plug and my wife was a wall outlet.
I like that kind of that we go together.
Yeah. So we did that 1 year. And then have you seen the alien?
Comes out of the stomach.
No, the alien carrying the boy.
Oh yeah,
the boy.
with the legs flapping around.
Yeah, so it looks like the alien's like kidnapping the boy. That one's hysterical, especially when kids are like, "Hey, help, help," and they really get into it. It's really funny. And then number 1 for me, it just cracks me up when people really get into character and just they're Michael Myers.
Yeah,
I don't know he's just like the creepiest horror dude. But when people get into his character,
I think he can be funny.
But like I saw somebody in Wichita the other day was driving their motorcycle, and his girlfriend was hanging on to him, and he decked out Michael Myers. And I was like, yes, I love that.
I thought I was gonna have to stab somebody last night.
Yeah,
possibly shoot. We go from one to the other and really quickly. But
yeah,
I'm filling up at this gas station that I never, ever, ever go to. And we just finished up with the soccer game. It was kind of late. And I was like, oh, it's 12 miles to E. Like, we gotta fill up. Where's the closest filling station? And so pull in and I'm filling up. Some dude in the car next to me, looking like Michael Jackson, had the white towel over his face with the dark sunglasses, and like Michael Jackson used to.
Yeah. Cover his face
up with the sunglasses. And I was like, that's really weird. And then there was a driver, so this dude was in the passenger seat, and they were just kind of driving. I was like, it's kind of weird. And then I look over, and I just kind of see through the gas station, through the pump, into this parking lot. Then there's this figure that's tall, wearing yellow overalls or something like that, and just walking up to cars and kind of doing looking in and kind of pounding on the door and pounding on the window. And I was like,
something's going to go down.
I'm about to shoot this guy because the people in that car, I don't know if
right.
what's going to happen next. Turns out there's a haunted house, and that was the entrance to the haunted house.
Oh my gosh!
I about capped some characters.
That would have sucked
for them,
and you'd be in jail.
I'd be gone.
Yeah,
but so kind of interesting. But it was so it's up off of 96 and Rock. Apparently, there's a haunted house up there somewhere.
So you guys follow? Was that your number one?
That was his number.
That was my number one.
Ashton Junty, the running back for Boise State. Have you guys seen him? He's like a Heisman hopeful. The dude is a beast.
Oh, wait, is he the one they call Michael Myers?
Yeah,
because the way he stands
when he's like behind, the quarterback's under center. He stands hands just straight up vertical, hands by his side. He looks like Michael Myers just standing there, and he's a big dude. That's just exactly. He just stands there, and they snap the ball, and then he runs over your face.
Right.
But they're like, yeah, that's some Michael Myers right there.
Oh man. All right, Chet, you got a good word for us?
Yeah, we are less than a week away from Election Day, and some of you may be freaking out. I don't think we're going to know who our president is either yet, because we've already had like several key of the swing states say it's going to take them 10 days to count votes.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Which is ridiculous.
Which is really dumb. But here's an encouraging word from Psalm 37, verse 7. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. Refrain from anger and turn from wrath, and do not fret. It leads only to evil. For those who are evil will be destroyed, but those who hope in the Lord will inherit the land. We do not need to turn our hope towards anyone in the government. Keep our hope in the Lord and wait patiently for him. So no matter how this election turns out, don't over celebrate thinking that you are free and clear because somebody got elected. Don't put your hope in that person. And if you're depressed because the person you wanted to win did not, don't put your hope in that person either and lose hope, but keep your hope in the Lord.
Good word. Thank you, Chet.
All right.
All right. If you like this episode, share it with somebody. We'll see you next week.
That was almost Santa Claus.
Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.